The next move for my part is to go ahead and install the front crankshaft seal. I do have the parts needed. One is a spacer that goes here. And you'll notice this place just looks naked. So we need a seal. I am looking for lube. I'm looking for my Vaseline right now. I don't know where I went to. But we'll get this, don't you worry. Alright, so we're ready. I'll do one quick clean here. Here's a seal, 13510 1LAOA. So just wipe this clean. What I'm getting is oil from the back side of from behind the timing cover, pretty much. Let me turn this a little bit. Hope you can see that a little better. Okay, so yeah, I cut myself and got a kitty bandage. So yeah, cut myself and got some kitty band-aid. Actually has pretty good adhesion. It's better than all the other adult band-aids that I had. So here's a seal, and they say there's a tool to get this in. But first, I just want to do it by hand. This is what it looks like. And I've explained that my preference is to have this going first, then the spacer can go in afterwards. Still has some RTV. The spacer can go in after this. Right now I just want to be able to get it in nicely. So what do you know? Vaseline on the outside. Okay. Now I'm just going to push it in by hand. If it'll go in. This is like this cover, one of those regret not regret things. You might have an easier time if you do it before installing the timing cover, but again, it just really depends on what you want to do. This is my method. I prefer this. Okay, so right now it's pretty even. They usually say you should use a seal drift and, you know, hammer this thing, tap it all the way in. Now that you guys have seen my videos for a while, what do you think? Do you think about the seal drift? I do have an answer for you. PVC pipe, guys. I got these and found the right diameter. What's this, 1.5? Charlotte pipe, PVC, yeah, 1.5. It fits right over there. And you can tap on this with a hammer, or, you know, I put a sleeve over so I could tap it. But you can just as well use a piece of wood to make sure that the whole assembly goes in evenly. I'm trying to get the cleaner side. So I could just push by hand or tap it with a hammer. Needs a pretty healthy whack, honestly. Okay, so that's the main part. That gets it flush, and once it's flush, you could decide to push it in a little further if you so wish. That's what I'm going to do, just a little bit. Just light taps around here. I'm going to feel this with my nail to have a sort of even lip. It's not all the way against the timing cover. I want it to be just a little farther. Okay, I've done enough crank seals in my day to know that that has got to be enough. So yeah, there you go, good enough, should be good enough. So this is part one of the whole deal. Part two is sending this in there. Oh, already collected oil in the brief moment it was in there. Okay, so once again, lube this thing up. This is an interesting setup. This one is keyed to the crankshaft to keep it clocked, right? But once you put the pulley on, the pulley doesn't really. You have a soft dowel over there, but other than that, nothing really keeps it clocked in the right position. So let's push this in there. There you go. I need my light to just inspect the bottom side. Everything looks good. We are going to do this. And pretty much ready for the crank pulley. Then we can keep moving. Here's the crank pulley. Here's the crank pulley, and this is what I was talking about. That on the way in, you don't really have anything keeping this clocked. You know, don't have any keys, you don't have any bolts through here. You do have this window here, just a small, for the soft key that shears almost immediately whenever you attempt to pull it out. So I went ahead and made my own dowel because I didn't want to pay whatever they were charging at the time. Push the thing out. And this is the dowel, pretty soft. I made this out of a nail and just cut it to size. So what I'm going to do is insert this over here. Not all the way, just enough to have it peeking out. Just enough. And then I'll come in here and clock this over it. Or maybe I could do it this way. Insert it here first. Then find the spacer then find the crankshaft. Clean this. I'll clean this as well, I suppose. That's it. Crank bolt. Keep everything aligned. Well, the reason I bothered with this dowel was I made it pretty short, so if I'd pushed it, it would have all disappeared into the spacer. But then you don't want to make it too long that it ends up preventing this bolt from seating properly. So that's why I decided to make it a little too short, or a little shorter than ideal. And then it can fully disappear in there. And I'll take this crank bolt. I ensure that it doesn't have any oils or anything, no lubrication on it. It's a matter of preference. You have a torque setting that you need to tighten this this whole setup to as well, by the way. It's now turning the whole assembly. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like leaving serious matters to chance. So what I do is I label this thing. My masking tape says not tight, so that's a reminder to me. Well, I might as well have just put masking tape to mean that this is not complete, in that when it's done you don't need to put any reminder over there. I'm not going to put a sticker saying it's now tight. No, when I'm done with it, once I remember to tighten it, I'll just take off the masking tape and that'll be good as new. So now we're graduating onto the coolant side of things. This is where the water pump goes. The coolant tubes go in the back. So I will take a little break and I shall be back to get this thing close to assembly. One thing I need to remember to do is, now that I'm done, come to the back. I did not want to bother with it before everything was dry back here. And it's not fully dry, but it's setting. Is I need to set this pin over there so that I don't, it doesn't spin on me. It doesn't turn and cause some kind of injury. So that's it for now. Take a break and we'll be back.